Good morning, Switzerland. Good morning, Luis. Can you hear
Good
me?
morning, everyone. Yes, perfectly well. What about you?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Good morning,
Great.
everybody. Welcome to this, first of all, sunny and beautiful day in
True.
Switzerland. Just checking all of our technology is working okay. My name is Lee Diamond, and welcome to this episode of the Swiss Recruitment Journeys. I'm the managing director of We Recruit, which is a rec-to-rec expert for the Swiss market, helping companies and clients find recruitment and HR talent. My guest this morning, Luis Granato. Luis has been working in the recruitment industry since 2009. Exactly, and it's exciting times for him as the newly appointed managing director of Chaberton Professionals, and he's responsible for leading and expanding the professionals business across the DACH region. So exciting times, Luis. Welcome, good morning, and thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, everyone. Pleasure to meet as well, everyone here. Thanks a lot, Lee, for the opportunity. And it's always great to be speaking and exchanging about recruitment, career. It's one of our passions, right? For sure.
Exactly.
So thanks a lot. Myself, just as a quick introduction, probably more a bit personally, because professionally we will be speaking about it during the meeting today.
Exactly.
I am South American, born and raised in Brazil, so from the other side of the Atlantic in that sense. Father of two kids, Felipe, 5 years old, Sophia, 3, my 2 little angels, and I moved to Switzerland in 2015. I have a very long story with Switzerland, and I'll be speaking about it. But being here, based now where I lived in Zurich since 2015, so for the last 6 years. And today, it really feels like home, I must say. So looking forward now for today's sessions as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe thanks for the quick intro. And maybe just to kind of highlight these sessions that we do. What are these sessions about for the Swiss recruitment journeys? Basically, in these episodes, I'm interviewing local recruitment leaders in Switzerland about their careers and the journeys they've made. So, for other people in the industry to learn about what recruitment looks like, what a career can look like, some of the highs, as I like to put it, the ups and downs of the careers as well, and all of the good stuff in between. So it is a live session. Please, drop a like on the on the session. Let us know you're watching. Say hi. Good morning, Mabel. I can see Mabel watching from Ghana. Wow, that's quite far away. So feel free to let us know where you're watching from. It's always exciting to see if there's other people from outside of Switzerland. Drop a hi, drop a like, and we can get straight into today's session. Hopefully you can all hear us and see us okay as well. Exactly. Good. All right. So let's go straight into it. The first question, Lewis, I want to ask you, and it's something I always enjoy listening to the answers from my different guests, because we're all different. Everyone has different ambitions, especially when we're young. So I guess the first question I want to ask you is, what did you want to be when you were young, before recruitment was even a topic in your life?
An astronaut, right?
Exactly. Yeah, maybe.
No, I never had that ambition. No, jokes aside, I was always very passionate by sports, and I think you can see that in the background, right?
Yeah. It's an impressive looking bike, by the way.
Yeah, that's half of my gym. That's half of my office. I am at home today. And as a Brazilian, you might be wondering now that I want to be a soccer player. Actually, not. I'm terrible at soccer. But I always
is that even allowed? Is that allowed in Brazil not to be good?
Yeah. My family actually hides that part. No, but I tried and I'm really bad at it. So I decided to go to other sports. But I've been always super passionate about sports. I was rowing. I think I started when I was 10, and I was competing to my age of, I think, 16, 17. But then I jumped into triathlon when I was 17, and this was my passion for sports since then. And I was actually becoming a professional triathlete on my mid-20s, and I was actually racing professionally into my late 20s. To 28 or 29, sponsorship and everything, racing every weekend, crazy life, and really feel dedicated to it while I was studying at university, and I was studying business already. So yeah, maybe if I wouldn't have jumped into the corporate and the business environment, which is actually what I really like to do today, and that's what I studied with my business administration diploma, my MBA in business management and finance, maybe I would have, I don't know, if I would have made it, maybe I would have been still a professional athlete or maybe a coach or something related to sports. That's something that I really enjoy, and I do that today still, but as a hobby. I do Ironmans and long endurance races, but today just as a hobby while I have time. So yeah.
Well, I mean, Ironman and triathlons and things like that. When somebody says they do it as a hobby or for fun, I think to myself, okay, you must be crazy. No, I mean, it's obviously one of these kind of sports and things where you have to really push yourself and find your limits. Let me ask you this, because it's something that I always see actually, or often see, and I even wrote an article about it when we talk about people who are in competitive sports, or let's say doing any kind of sport to a professional or extremely competitive level. That there can be often quite a connection between success in business. I love when I see a CV and I see somebody has competed any sport at a competitive, or as I say, even more exciting professional level. I'm really keen to speak to that person because of some of the underlying attributes and mindset and things that it brings. But I mean, what's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I'm biased to see it because I've been on it and I really like it, right? I think people can acquire good skills for business in many different ways. I do agree that sport is probably one of them and the one that I know the best. And it's true. And it's funny because I've been in triathlon now for more than 20 years, right? And when I started, I remember it was something, and this was still back in Brazil. It wasn't that popular as it is today. Actually, it wasn't. It was actually just starting to be part of the Olympics, which we just saw now in July, right?
Yeah.
And this is becoming not only triathlon, but long endurance sports, cycling, marathon, long runs, mountain run. This is really becoming kind of a trendy sport into the corporate world. So today, actually, a lot of my clients and candidates, they come from sport. I have my groups of cycling, my groups of triathlon. And some of these people, they become friends. We have a passion in common. We do business together. We have beers together. So, and yes, I think it's an environment that you are competing against you every day. So it's really about you getting better every day, pushing your limits. I have every morning my sessions. I had my session this morning. I was thinking a lot about what I was going to say this today. But I call this my thoughts from the bike, right? This is the time that, I am on these things here, either indoors or outdoors, a lot indoors, to be honest. In Switzerland, during winter time, you must do indoors. And those are the time that you are really with yourself, thinking, putting your thoughts in order. It's impossible to don't think about business when you are there because you are really thinking and getting things ready in the morning. And because of that, of course, I am an early bird, right? I wake up every day very early. And then I start already doing my things actually while I'm biking or swimming or running or whatever.
Yeah. I think a lot of successful people in general use this time kind of walking, doing sports to reflect, to think, come up with creative ideas. So I think
that's what I call the me time, because that's the time that it's only me waking up at home. My kids are sleeping, my wife is sleeping, so I can be alone. I can think, I can do my things, right? But it has to be early, yes.
Absolutely. 3 and 5 is a challenging age. I've been there. It only gets easier. No, but I mean, to the people watching, let us know what you think as well. Is there a connection between, sports or people competing, doing any kind of sport at a really high level and kind of success in business? I wrote an article about it on my website, which you can see. I think it was Do Athletes Make Great Recruiters? What if Ronaldo or Messi had decided to go into recruitment? Would they be as successful? I think so, but who knows? I guess we'll never find out. But I can see as well, we've got people. Wow, this is crazy. We've got people listening in and watching from Ghana, from Munich, from Geneva, from Paris, from Singapore. So good morning, everybody, and good evening to Singapore. So thanks so much for tuning in, and let us know your comments and your thoughts about that. So then let's move then, going a bit more into kind of how did you get into recruitment? There's often the phrase, I fell into recruitment. I don't know many people that kind of studied and said, hey, that's what I want to do. Because I think a lot of people don't know what it is that we do.
Which was my case as well.
Exactly. So tell us a bit about how you got into recruitment.
I wouldn't say that I fell into recruitment because I chose to go to recruitment in the end. But it was something that was also unknown for me. And actually, I fell into recruitment because of my previous career. I was a candidate. I come from commercial roles. I studied business, as I was mentioned before, did an MBA in finance and business management. So I've been always into the corporate world. I worked previously for Roche and Bayer into commercial functions, so pharmaceutical companies, and then I became the corporate trainee at Kraft Foods, Mondelez. This was in 2006, 7.
Okay.
Yeah, 7. So corporate trainee, you often have the holistic view of the company, right? So you have, the several different job rotations. I was in finance, production. I was in the factory for literally 2 months, which was amazing. And my final destination would have been commercial, so marketing and trade marketing. So I was a brand manager before joining the recruitment industry. And this happened because actually I was applying for a role at Michael Page back in the days in Latam. And they interviewed me for the role. I remember very well which role was that. It was for a brand manager position for one of the competitors of Mondelez. And they said, okay, look, you have a great profile. Why don't you join us? And I said, okay, but I mean, what is that? I'm not even an HR person, I said. And then I started really understanding more about it. I really like the culture of the industry. It's very meritocratic. You have the sales component, which I always enjoyed. And today, after 12 years into this business, I realized that really suits me a lot because I still have this commercial element, the business development, the chasing business, the speaking with clients, which I really enjoy, and doing that in a smooth way, right? Without being a pain to my clients. It's really a consultative business and dealing on a high level, which I really enjoy. But you do also have the consulting aspect, which gives to all of us the huge opportunity to be speaking with different businesses, understanding different businesses from consumer to oil and gas. And I think we learn a lot. I learn a lot with it every day. And you speak often with very interesting people, clients to candidates, candidates to clients. And this is really interesting. So I jumped into it in 2009 when I left Mondelez to join Michael Page. And I stayed there since then. So I had a few projects within Michael Page. I was hired to actually build up an office in the South Paulo, Brazil. Then I was brought to Sao Paulo afterwards. To lead the whole financial services business in Brazil. And by then I was already, of course, touching some of the key markets globally, New York, London, Zurich. There's a lot of things in financial services done in Zurich. And then at some point, the company brought me here to lead some of the functions in Switzerland. So here I am for the last 6 years. And I think it's a brilliant career. I think it's tough. It's not easy. It's a highly competitive market. I think I like to compete, right? And I like to be doing always the best for me, for my team, for my clients. And I really enjoyed also the management path that recruitment can take you. So either if you become a specialist into some area, or if you go more into the management side, it fulfills me a lot today.
Yeah. I mean, what would you say are kind of, if you had to pick one or two standout differences when you talk about the kind of Latam market, what your business in Brazil, and then obviously in the more recent years coming to Switzerland, what would you say, or one or two kind of key standout differences between the two?
Okay, it's a very good question because when I moved here, again, I knew already Switzerland for quite a long time. My wife is Swiss Brazilian, so we were coming and going to Switzerland for the last 20 years. So I was close to the Swiss culture already somehow, but never really worked here, right? And of course, it's a huge difference because I'm talking about a highly emerging market-driven business, South America, Latam, Brazil. And in this business, you are, up and down every day, and you start in a way, you finish in a different way in the evening. And it's crazy because you need to learn how to be creative, you need to learn how to reinvent yourself every day and to deal with a huge ambiguity every day, because you are never really able to predict too much. And that's very interesting because you learn a lot of skills by being in that environment and being able to make business and to succeed in this environment, right? And in Switzerland, it's exactly the opposite. So it's a very consolidated market, very mature market. And you learn a lot of different things. I think here you can predict and you can rely a lot more in the long term, which is brilliant because you can plan things better, right? I would say that probably now, after 6 years being here, I would be tough to adapt to go back to that. And I really enjoy the way that we deal with business here. You can rely on people, you can look for the long term, you can really predict things, but it's very tough to get into the business. I remember when I moved here, I was already an executive manager, I was already leading people, I was already in the business for quite a long time, and I had to prove all over again. And this was clearly said by my clients today, okay, who are you? What are you doing here? What's your history? Why you came here? Switzerland is a country with a lot of expats and people that are just coming and going. And I understand also the local market trying to be a bit more protective of their own business. I do understand that. Yeah. But I was just arriving here, right? So I was one of them. And I had to really prove myself and to do repetitive calls. And after the first year, here I am again. Can we speak now? Second year, here I am again. Can we speak now? And some clients, honestly, they become my clients after 3 years. Some of the people that I was approaching to work with me, they actually started working with me after 4 or 5 years. So for me, the long-term mindset here is crucial and it works. And in emerging markets, being able to navigate with these ups and downs and uncertainty and being able to keep your standard, right? While the whole thing is just crazy every day, it is very important. So I would say that probably business-wise, that's one of the biggest differences that I see. Yeah.
The biggest difference. And then, so, I mean, it links me to another question that I wanted to ask you. I think there's probably maybe some overlaps in there, but in regards to the kind of biggest challenges, moving to Switzerland, I guess personally and professionally, what did you find the biggest challenges to be?
I think it was a bit of that. When I came with, okay, look, I will just continue doing what I was doing, right? And no, it was completely different. And I had to really relearn and reskill, right? And we need to be humble enough to do it. It is really reinventing yourself and to start again and to get into the mode that it will take you here for a long term. And that's a big learning, I think, for me. This is not only with business. This is with everything. This is on your personal relations. That's how that's actually in your neighborhood, with the people that you work with the clients that you are serving, with the candidates that you are serving. And I think that's probably one of the biggest learnings from you. It's not only moving countries. It's moving continent even, right? I mean, you are really coming from far away. And that was, again, when I do things, I think I like to do things in an extreme way, right? That's also a bit of my life. And I was thinking, if I wanted to do something abroad and to have this experience, I need to do it properly. I need to do it in a way that will really change. I won't go from Brazil to Chile. It's probably too close, even though also there are some differences.
For sure.
But if I would do it, I would do it in a very extreme way to really learn and to really develop. And I'm really thankful for that. I'm really thankful for the opportunity that was given to me. I was really thankful to the people that embraced me and also helped me to make it. And voila, after 6 years, I think I'm succeeding little by little, right? But it's still a lot to learn for sure.
Absolutely. I can confirm that as well, for sure. I think there's a lot of differences from Switzerland, even for myself coming from the UK. I think even coming from neighbouring countries, I think there's a lot of differences. Switzerland is very unique, and I think it takes time to kind of adapt to the culture, to the ways. I remember when I moved here, coming from the UK, and I'd been in sales in England, and that's a very, very different market, very much more, I guess aggressive would be the word to use, or much more kind of, their consistent, very much more fast paced. And, you know, I had to really slow myself down coming to Switzerland, then kind of moving into sales in Switzerland. So, yeah.
It's different. And again, I think those are the moments in life that you really learn, right? And if you're open to learn, and if you're open to also acknowledge mistakes and to move forward, those are the great things. And we're here to learn and to develop, right? I think today, after some time here and realizing and thinking and really, you know, being more aware of that, the pragmatism that I've learned and that I had to learn during these 6 years, but still being myself with my, you know, with this Latin flair of being more flexible, also with a huge passion for things that I do. I feel that this is really appreciated today by the people around me, by my clients. And I try to mix both, right? I try to learn and to get the best from both places. And even in Switzerland, there are a lot of differences, right? I mean, we are German-speaking side, Italian-speaking side, French-speaking side. You have several languages here that and they are still Switzerland. And I think also coming from outside, you are probably also more open to embrace everything, right? And yeah, that's how I feel.
Okay. Yeah. I get it. I completely understand. Sorry, I was a bit distracted there for a moment. I can hear the piano going through my house. I don't know if you can hear it there or if it's out of hearing.
Home
reach.
office life.
Yeah, exactly. I think the kids are screaming around. It's still the school holidays right now. So
yeah, true.
Yeah, if you hear that, sorry about that. Yeah, and just coming back to the professional mindset. Thanks a lot, Mark, for his coming from Luzern. He also said it's kind of in the mindset. You know, to be successful in sports, you need to have willpower, endurance, and it can give you some great lessons around that. So yeah, thanks, Mark, for sharing your comment there. So, what time in your career do you think you learned the most, and why?
Well, I had a few changes in my career during these 12 years. I think the first one was when I moved from. When you are in Latam, the key country or the key office was Sao Paulo, right, where I actually came from. But I was not active there. I was active in one of the branches in the south. That's the one that I was building up. Much smaller market, very conservative region in Brazil it was. And I was managing mainly commercial positions, sales and marketing, consumer. That was my start into recruitment. That was also my background. I was coming from consumer before. So I was managing that. And then I was taken away completely from my comfort zone. And the company wanted me to lead now a team doing banking and financial services, which I had zero clue about. I always enjoyed. I think we have a lot of smart people in this industry. They can challenge you a lot. But I was not a banking guy. I've never been a banking guy. And I was there then to lead a team and to revamp the whole thing. And, in recruitment, you are never put in a place to continue the good job that was being done before, right? You are always put in a place to change. Yeah. And this was the case with that business unit that I came to lead. So I
how old were you at this time?
This was in 2012, 13. So I was probably 30 something.
30. Okay. Yeah.
30 something. 31. And this, I think it was somehow coming back to my hometown. So this was not the big difference, even though I was already almost 6 years away from Sao Paulo. But the pace of the business in Sao Paulo, it is crazy. I mean, the city of Sao Paulo, for those that have been there already, it's insane, right? The city doesn't sleep. You're working from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day, and that's normal. And that's kind of, those are the standards. I remember sometimes passing in front of the office Sunday afternoon, and the lights are on. And that's crazy. I think when you are probably in a younger age, you can still do it. I wouldn't do it today, to be honest.
Yeah. You still had the energy back then.
Yes, and I still love to work super hard, but have times in life, right?
Absolutely.
And Sao Paulo, it is like that. Sao Paulo is a crazy. You are there basically to make money, to work, to be ambitious, and to think that you're going to be ruling the world one day. Okay. And then for me, the challenge in that moment was actually to learn from a different industry. That I had to go deep again into the market, research, learn, interview, getting to know the key people, getting to be recognized in that new industry. And I was then having also a big management responsibility. I was managing almost 20 people, and then I was revamping and reshaping everything. And I had to rely a lot on my team. And that's something that I've been, I think, doing since then. It's really always trying to hire people that are better than me on some things or everything. And I really learned with these people. And I think I'm really glad to the team that I had at that time that together with me made it happen. And it was fantastic. I mean, the revamp that we did in banking, and we were always also competing against the finance team. In the time, if I have someone from Brazil probably looking at that afterwards, they will remember this time. But we were delivering a very good result. And that was actually my last year in Brazil when I was moving here. So I was very fulfilled also professionally to make the turnaround that I was brought to Sao Paulo to do. And then I think, as I was mentioned before, changing to Switzerland was also a huge learning for me. I won't repeat what I just said, but for those reasons, right? Different culture, different people, working again with people that didn't know me from before. So it was me again, reinventing and starting again and doing again. And I think it also helps and teaches you a lot. Okay, go down, heads down and work hard again. And I'm a big believer that hard work always pays off.
Absolutely.
And it just keep teaching me that, right, every day.
Yeah, and I think it's an interesting point you make about hiring people that are better than you, because I think it's not as easily said as done. I think in general, not only in our industry, but in a lot of industries, especially in sales environments, people are, some managers are often a bit intimidated by hiring somebody that's better than them. And I think it takes a great leader and somebody who's very self-confident to be able to hire people with that kind of mindset. I want people that are better than me, that can add something more, that can help us all raise up, that we can all be successful together, as opposed to looking at someone thinking, okay, they might be after my job or competing for the next job with me. And I think it takes a great leader to be able to do that. And I think it's really important to grow.
That's a bit of my thoughts and my style as well, Lee. I mean, for those that have already worked with me, I hope they can confirm what I'm saying. But I as a leader and today as a managing director and really, going into the managerial path, I really like still to be operational. So today as a managing director, yes, I am placing, I'm working on jobs and I'm doing my job, right? And I like doing what I do. It's not it's not a pain for me to go down and to interview and to recruit and to celebrate a placement. I like it. I really like it. And I have my numbers, and I'm fighting with my team to deliver the good results. But I also believe that if I don't have people that are better than me in certain disciplines or certain skills or certain attitudes, I cannot do everything. I know well what I'm good at. I know well what I'm not good at. I try to develop those skills, but I'm leading a brilliant team today. And these people that are just brilliant, and people that I left before, they were fantastic. And I think my job is to make sure that we get the best out of them by me coaching them and helping them and working together with them. But I learn a lot also from my team. And I think when you hire brilliant people or very good people, you need to let them fly. And that's probably one of the key mistakes that I see a lot happening sometimes. You hire very good people and you try to put them down or tell them what to do, which is horrible. You cannot have good people below you and only tell them what to do. Then why do you hire them?
Exactly.
I was listening to an interview of Steve Jobs one of these days, and it was exactly that. He said, "Look, my business, my company is managed like a startup, a big startup, and then it's me going, in every business, unit, and just doing the things." And then the guy asked him, but you also contribute with ideas? And he said, of course I do. Otherwise, what I would be doing there, right? You're not there just to be a boss. You are there to contribute to the business and to help your employees and to help your team members to develop together, and then we can all do something better. And if I'm doing a good job, I will just keep growing together with my team. So I don't know. I really don't have the fear of being replaced by one of my team members. No, I hope that they step up so I can do some things, different things, right? And I can do more things. I can help the company in a business in a different way. So I don't know. Those are my beliefs and those are my gurus when I listen about these management talks a lot. Actually, when I'm doing my bike on the YouTube here, when I listen to these people thinking, and I do admire a lot the way that they've been managing their companies, their businesses, and I don't know. I just sympathize a lot with that.
Yeah, no, I can relate to that, and it also takes us quite nicely into the next question that I had to understand. For you, which country was the hardest to build business and teams from your experience, or which city maybe might be easier to say, but yeah.
I couldn't say that it's easier or harder. I mean, each country has their own particularities and opportunities and challenges, and I think you need to adapt to those and to make the to make the lemonade with the lemon that is given to you, right? I think in South America you can probably build up businesses faster than here because the market is really, really, really like that, right?
Yeah.
And when you are on a high, things are going crazily well, but when things go down, they really go down.
Yeah.
So maybe you can do things faster there. You can get even faster promotions there. You can probably grow faster. You can. Those are a bit, and that's not only South America. If you go to Asia, it's the same. If you go to probably Africa today, which is probably the newest continent to be developed in the future, that's probably going to be the same, right? You see a lot of opportunities, a lot of greenfield opportunities, and if you jump into it and you do a good job, bam, you make it. And this reflects everything, the relationships and the business, the clients and everything. I think here is more long-term way to think, again, in every angle.
Yeah.
But I think once you've make it, it's probably more long-term and more stable.
Yeah.
Which for a business like ours, it is always a very good thing. Recruitment as a business, it is a very up and down business, right? You are every day starting from scratch again, despite all the interim revenue that you might carry from one month to another. You are always starting again, right?
Every month is new. Yeah,
exactly. So if you manage to be in a place and an environment that provides you a bit of more stability, honestly, it's not something bad to have. But it's also more. You need to be a bit more patient, I think, to build up here. And always, be accepted, and then keep delivering to don't fall into the last place of the line again. That's how I would probably compare both.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Thank you for sharing that. A few more people watching in from Nussbaumen by Baden. Guatemala, Lausanne, and even Dubai. So we're getting even more international as the stream goes along, which is awesome.
Nice,
perfect. So, okay. So coming a little bit to the situation more recently. You spent many years, as you said, at Michael Page, and now you have this new opportunity at Chaberton Professionals, leading the DACH business. Tell us a bit about that. Why the change? Why now? Why Chaberton?
I was at Page for 12 years. Great company. I grew up there. I learned recruitment there, and the company gave me a lot of opportunities. So always very thankful to what I had. Right. But at some point, I was feeling ready to kind of raise the bar somehow, if I may say. I think the company was, at some point I was not able anymore to do my best. And I think for every employee, regardless if you're in recruitment or not, I think there are cycles in life, and I really believe in cycles in life. I really do. And for me, funnily enough, the cycles they normally happen in 3 to 4 years. There are even some theory about that if you read. And these after 12 years, so if you do the calculations, cycles of 3 to 4 years, it was really coming to an end. And then actually I was approached by Chaberton. I didn't know much Chaberton before. But when I started looking more into the company and meeting the people that the company was hiring and the plans for the future, I was extremely impressed. And it takes me quite a while to impress me on those things. But I've been speaking with them. I've been learning more about the business. I've been learning more about the culture. And I think we are doing different things today. We are changing a bit of the way of doing recruitment. We are changing a bit of the way also of managing your employees. And this has proven to be very successful. Chaberton, I mean, the whole market, if you read about the recruitment, the whole market has been going down more or less 30% in the last year and a half. Chaberton actually invested to grow 40% in the last 2 years. And Chaberton today is a mid-size, maybe even big Swiss boutique focused in executive and management search. We are today 60 people. And that's really massive. And I think it's a great opportunity to join a smaller player where you have more freedom. You can be more yourself. That's the first time that I'm outside of the corporate environment, right? I've been always a very corporate person. Roche, Bayer, Mondelez, Page Group. Those are very heavy corporate companies. And I'm having a lot of fun. It's a different time for me. It's a different moment in life. And I feel extremely ready for the challenge. It's a big challenge. We are now expanding a lot. We are hiring a lot in the DACH region. And we are expanding to Germany, to Austria, to Switzerland. And yeah, it's going very well. Our headquarters is based in Lugano. I have also the pleasure to be in Lugano.
Beautiful location.
It feels like holiday when I go to Lugano. I arrive at the office. Hey, good morning, everyone. The guys, okay, who's this tourist coming here? Right? It's a beautiful place. It's a great environment. The people there are really nice. I had a really good welcome and a really good onboarding to the company. And I'm really grateful for the opportunity. Really grateful. And it's proven so far to be the right decision.
No, perfect. I'm happy to hear that, and I think it's been a fantastic success story from I think almost doubling in people year on year from kind of when they started 4 or 5 years ago to where they are today. So I think it's a testament to obviously they're doing something very right. So
exactly.
And now they have you for the DACH region to grow and develop. So yeah, obviously it's going to be exciting times ahead.
How to be there.
Exactly. Getting to this point, though, it's a question I like to ask my guests as well. Why did you get to where you are? Were there any kind of key defining moments in your career which really stand out to you, or it might not be an individual moment in time, but perhaps a period that you feel helped you to be as successful as you've been and to get you now to this point as you are, as a managing director?
Yeah. Look, I don't think there is any recipe for it. And I think we are... I've read once, and I really agree with that. You normally attract what you're ready for.
You attract what you
are ready for.
Okay.
So if you're ready for the challenge, you normally will attract that. If you have a good energy, you'll attract people with good energy around you. If you don't have the good energy, you probably attract people with a bad energy around you. And I believe on that a lot, really a lot. And I think because of that, making sure that you are developing every day and you are every day 1% better than yesterday, it's always crucial, right? And I am really determined for it. I really work on myself. I take the feedback that are given to me. I try to make it better because I want to develop. I have big ambitions. The manager director position was something that I was really aspiring for, and finally it came. And more than only myself and working on myself and getting better every day and learning with my mistakes and so on, I really have a passion of developing people together with me. So being able to attract the good people, to work with the good people, to create that trust with the team, to have the team aligned with you and to work together with the team and for the team, that's the only way to get into a high-level management position. You will not get there only by doing your job and being only selfish to yourself, right? It doesn't really happen.
Just on your own.
It might happen for a period of time, but it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable at all. So I think, again, there's no recipe, but I think being able to give your time, to learn from the mistakes, to identify the gaps, and to learn with it, that's probably something that you can do for yourself. And then you need to be also authentic and knowing what you want. If you are keen to develop people, if you're really passionate about human beings and to be dealing with their ambiguity, with their uncertainties, and celebrating their success, and being together on the good times and the bad times, you might be chasing more of a managerial path. If you don't like it, and if you want to be in recruitment, it's fine. You can do this to a fantastic job, and you can be a specialist in one of their industries. And then you need to have other skills. You need to go really deep into that market, that knowledge, being respected by the main players, know everyone that you can in that market, and be the specialist on it, right? And there is a space for everyone. And that's something that Chaberton has been doing also very well. We are often recruiting already from the beginning, more the senior people in recruitment that are choosing to go both ways, right? And we have space for it. So I think for my position today, replying your question, me today where I am, that's my path. But I think there are several paths to be chosen if you want.
Yeah, no, I think it's good points, and and a good takeaway and bit of advice. I think we often hear or read about surrounding yourself with positive people. When you join an organization, look at successful people, try to be close to them. Find a role model, and I think that's really important, especially in recruitment, because recruitment has different cycles. We have our ups and downs. You can be extremely successful one year and struggle in the next year. And I think it's really important to be surrounding yourselves with positive people, with people that you can learn from, and that give you that energy as well, because it can be really the opposite if you surround yourself with the wrong people.
As they say, I never saw a successful pessimist, right? It's funny, no, it doesn't exist.
Exactly. So I think Mabel from Ghana really liked your expression. You normally attract what you are ready for. So
exactly.
You were obviously ready for this.
I hope I am.
Yeah, exactly. So okay, I mean, we're coming slowly to the end of the session.
45 minutes already.
Yeah, exactly. It goes quickly, huh? You wouldn't imagine, but. No, it's been really great kind of learning more about you, about your career, about some things that we don't see from a LinkedIn profile or on a business side. I guess the last question I'd like to ask is in regards to the future. So I mean, obviously this is now an exciting challenge. Where do you see yourself and with the company? What's the outlook look like for you guys?
Yeah, you have always these questions, right? Where you are in 5 years, 10 years. I mean, sometimes you don't know.
I don't know where I'll be tomorrow. But
exactly, I don't. Yeah, exactly. No, I think again, it's a very new challenge for me now, and I am feeling really fulfilled. And there is just billions of things to do and tons of opportunities, right? I just grew a lot my responsibility in terms of scope, in terms of responsibility, and now the region also is much bigger, right?
Yeah.
What I could say is that me at Chaberton today and join the team, I feel how ambitious they are, and I joined also because of that. So I think the company, the CEO, all the partners, and all my colleagues that are leading the company with me, we are really ambitious to grow. And again, I think the numbers they prove that, and the company is just crazily growing now, which is fantastic. And following that path, and probably following this trend, I hope it keeps that way. Growing to the DACH region and expanding the DACH region, it's definitely my probably nearest future. We are going to have offices in Germany, in Austria, offices in Switzerland. We are planning to do exactly that. We are building up teams also in Lugano that will be working in the German-speaking region. So we have tons of opportunities for us that are already here today, for people that would like to join us as well in the future. And honestly, the market seems to be already picking up after the pandemic, right? Or if I could say after the pandemic. I don't think this thing will be over forever. And maybe we need to adapt to work with it. But I feel already a very good traction of the market again. Some industries more than others, of course. But we are already starting pretty fast, I would say. So I see a big potential of building up a solid team here, and we don't want to be the biggest. No, we want to be the best. Maybe with a smaller team, but a high qualified team with a very healthy business, a sustainable business. That's very important for us. To not be falling into the traps and having the same gaps that probably the big corporates they've been having, right? And some of the corporates they've been really struggling for quite a while. So we want to still have a highly professional environment, a very collaborative environment internally, that people will be feeling comfortable to join, will be feeling comfortable to bring their business and to grow together with us. And that's where I see myself. Hopefully for a very long term, hopefully a very long time, but at least for the midterm, I see very clearly the path in front of me. Let's see. I need to achieve that first. I need to get there, and I think about the next step.
Exactly. First the DACH region, and then it can go bigger from there. But I think
the marathon has to start with the first step, right? So now do the first step for the long marathon.
Exactly. And I like the statement as well about not wanting to be the biggest and wanting to be the best. It's something that's always resonated with me personally as well, because I've worked for boutiques, I've worked for large organizations. Having the largest teams or the largest turnovers, things like that, I think the more and more that you grow, the harder it is to keep that quality at times, to make sure that all of the team are running business and relationships in the same levels of quality as what you have as a boutique. And I think it's a lot easier to do it in that way. And I think it's a really key point to be the best, not necessarily the biggest.
Chaberton has a very clear statement on that, and I really appreciate it. I mean, the company really works on committed mandates with qualitative assignments. We don't get into every job, into every business. We don't do what Chase is calling companies like crazy, just shooting CVs. It is just not what we do. We are not good at that. We are good at other things. So I think the company identified very well what is the key strength. The company started very well positioned on executive search when it was created, and then really scaled up when it was growing into the management search, right? And not only that, I think Chaberton also managed to add on business around executive board services, assessment, governance and value creation, dealing with sustainability. And we have different teams and different people and different skills to do it. So we have people from recruitment, not coming from recruitment, coming from really, different businesses, executives coming from different businesses, joining the company now to join our business. And it's also very, you learn a lot with the different point of views, right? And I think there's a lot to be done there. And we don't have the ambition, again, to be the biggest one. We are a boutique offering the best service as possible to our clients and chasing perfection, if it exists. But always trying to be the best and trying to do
perfection doesn't exist, but you can always chase it and try to raise the bar and the standards from that point of view. Exactly. So it's a great thing. That could be your what do you call it? Your slogan, chasing
could
perfection.
Be my slogan. Yeah.
I like it. But I might have to steal that one. I'll borrow it. Let's see if you don't go with it, chasing perfection. No, actually, we're doing so it's coming up on the 1st of September. It'll be 3 years since we started We Recruit. So it's going to be our anniversary soon, and actually next week I'm going to be launching a competition about for people to help us create our slogan.
Nice, okay.
So please drop in perfection to the competition. Yeah.
Cool, nice.
We're going to be giving away a voucher for some extreme for outdoor Interlaken, so people could go skydiving or paragliding or canyoning, whitewater rafting, all of these kind of things, or water rafting. Please feel free to drop that one.
That's cool. That's really nice.
Lewis, thank you so much for taking time out of valuable time out of your day to join us for this session, to let us into your world a bit more, to learn more about you. We really appreciate it, and some great insights about who you are as a person and kind of some of the ups and downs of your journey in recruitment. I guess with that we come to the end of the session. we wish you a lot of luck in this new role, a lot of success. I'm sure it's going to be that. And obviously we stay in touch and really appreciate the time. So
thanks a lot, Lee. Pleasure as well. Thanks everyone also for watching, for listening, to give your inputs as well. And we stay in touch for sure. Thanks a lot for the opportunity.
Absolutely. And please don't forget to like the session. And have a wonderful weekend. Finally, some more sunshine in Switzerland.
That's good.
All right. Thanks a lot, Lewis.
Cheers. Bye-bye.